Shri Gurucharitra Chapter 36 Shri Gurudeva Datta Parabrahmane Namaha. Eating the food of others, conduct of Brahmins. Shri Gurudeva Datta is the origin of all knowledge. No one has the quality, merit of elaborating the infinite glory of Shri Narsimha Saraswati Swamiji. There lived in Gangapur a scholar Brahmin. Dispassionate, detached, that Brahmin was well versed in Vedas and scriptures. He was a very decent, well behaved Brahmin who never used to accept food and charity from others. He neither spoke lies nor got engaged in gossiping or useless conversation with other people. He depended on the occupation of alms seeking for his survival and felt gratified by whatever he procured. Though he was leading a life by encountering severe financial strains and poverty, he never used to consume food without serving the guests and others every day. That Brahmin had a wife who, by nature, was adamant and wrathful. In the sacred place Gangapur, many householders used to host mass meal programs every day for thousands of Brahmins. However, that Brahmin never attended those programs nor sent his wife. Rest of the women from Brahmin families who used to take part in the mass meal ceremony used to highly speak about the food served to them in the presence of that poor woman. She was disgusted for not having an opportunity to participate in the mass meal ceremony, and that due to her husband's religious vow, she was deprived of the mass meal offered by others every day. She regretted very much as she felt that she was destined to depend on the food collected by her husband in the form of alms and nothing else. She was nourishing a thought in her mind frequently that when other married women from Brahmin community were relishing the delicious food every day and feeling gratified, she was deprived of it as she opted in wedlock to that poor Brahmin as her life mate. Once, on the occasion of Mahalaya Shraddha, a rich Brahmin extended invitation for mass meal ceremony to all Brahmins, including that poor Brahmin couple. The wife of the poor Brahmin approached him and appealed thus: "My dear lord, I heard that in today's mass meal ceremony different types of food are going to be served. After the meal ceremony, even clothes and fee will be offered to the participating Brahmin families. I am keen to consume that delicious meal today. Somehow, we must attend that meal ceremony today and savor varieties of delicious dishes. If you do not wish to participate in the ceremony, at least allow me to participate." This way, she requested him to permit her to attend the ceremony. The Brahmin was deeply hurt by her pleas. Then that disappointed poor Brahmin said, "O my dear companion, you are aware that I had taken a vow not to consume food offered by others throughout my life. Hence, I am not participating in the ceremony. If you wish to participate, I do not mind yourself attending it. You may do so and get satisfied." That Brahmin woman was greatly upset with her husband's behavior. She went alone to the place of that rich Brahmin and requested him to allow her to take part in the mass meal program. Then the rich Brahmin told her that as the invitation for the meal ceremony was meant for couples, it would be proper on her part to participate in the program along with her husband. Disappointed, that Brahmin woman grieved a lot. That anxious woman came to Shri Narsimha Saraswati Guruji and surrendered to him. She lamented thus: "Hey the Master, I have not tasted delicate food even once throughout my life. It seems that only the food sought through alms is written in my fate line, and today I am tempted to consume food in the mass meal program. My husband's vow is coming in the way of my desire to have the tasty food offered by others. Today we have an invitation by a rich Brahmin for a mass meal program in the city. My husband is not prepared to accompany me and has told me that if I wished, I could attend the program alone. Hey, the most revered Shri Guruji, I pray before you to kindly convince my husband to take me to that mass meal ceremony. Then Shri Guruji sent a word to her husband to meet him. Accordingly, her husband met Shri Guruji and saluted him. Shri Guruji advised the poor Brahmin thus: Hey, the best among the Brahmins, your wife has a strong desire to consume delicate food to be served by a rich man today. You must accompany her today for that ceremony. Have the meals, accept clothes, charity, fees, and satisfy your wife's long felt urge for tasting the delicacies. It is the bounden duty of every husband to satisfy the genuine and reasonable desires of his wife whenever possible. The husband should never hurt the feelings of his wife. Discontentment and unsatisfied desires lead to rebirth. To that the pious Brahmin said thus: O my revered Shri Guruji, there will be a break to my religious vow which I have been observing since long, if I were to accept the food served by others today. However, for me, Shri Guruji's words are golden. At any cost, I am bound by those words of yours, even if it comes to breaking my volition. Sir, I am going to take part in the mass meal program today. Thus, the Brahmin earnestly appealed. Later, he attended the mass meal ceremony along with his wife. The host, a wealthy Brahmin, received all the Brahmin couples with due honor and, remembering his ancestors, adored all the couples present there. He served a variety of delicacies to all those Brahmin guests. While taking meals, the wife of that poor Brahmin witnessed a horrifying scene in which she saw stray pigs and dogs present aside them and also taking part in the mass meal ceremony along with them. She got bewildered by the scene. She felt disgusted and sorry and left the meal in the middle. She repented very much for having taken part in the ceremony. Saddened, she returned to her home and told her husband the fact of consuming the impure and defiled food. Listening to that, her husband suffered anguish as the vow he had taken not to consume others' food has been violated and felt himself to be an unfortunate man. He ridiculed his wife for compelling him to consume food in mass meal program. Immediately, he rushed towards Sri Guruji along with his wife. The Brahmin's wife, who repented, saluted Sri Guruji with folded hands and humbly pleaded thus: Hey, the pioneer of all religions, Sadguru Natha, kindly excuse this ignorant woman for my selfish gains today. I have come in the way of my husband's religious vow. I made a folly by forcing him to eat out at the mass meal ceremony. I am solely responsible for my husband's downfall and flaws. Kindly pardon my offense and elevate me. This way, she repeatedly prayed before Shri Guruji. Then the Brahmins, struck by misery and pain, felt that because of his sinful wife he was subjected to great flaws and that his volition had been defeated. Later, that Brahmin prayed to Shri Guruji to suggest a way out for him to get released from the flaws arising out of consuming meals served by others. Shri Guruji consoled him thus: Hey, virtuous Brahmin, there is no reason for you to grieve and worry. As a householder, you have obliged your wife by respecting her inner feelings. Every husband is bound to fulfill all the rightful desires of his wife. You have followed the natural course of action. There is nothing irreligious on your part. Your wife's rightful desire to relish delicious food has been fulfilled today. She has now realized the consequences of consuming others' food. You are certainly not at fault for her action. You need not grieve and bother for the reason that you have attracted the flaw of accepting the meal of others. Then the Brahmin prayed before Shri Guruji thus: O respected Shri Guruji, please be kind enough to listen to my earnest request. Being a Brahmin, which are the places where one is supposed to accept food? Which are the places where he is not supposed to take the food? In whose home the food consumed attracts flaws? I beg upon you to clear all my doubts. To clear all his doubts, Sri Guruji started elaborating on the conduct of Brahmins as follows. Places where Brahmins can consume food. O the learned Brahmin, you can consume food in the following places without any hesitation. Places of Guru, his disciples, learned Brahmins, in-laws, virtuous and religious people, maternal uncle, brother and own parents. If a Vedic Brahmin is not available for the head of the family while performing ancestors' rituals or at the time of performing religious ceremonies of deities, despite the best efforts and supposing there is a possibility of the rituals being rendered incomplete, then the Brahmin who has been invited for participating in the rituals must necessarily attend the rituals and consume the food. By doing so, he shall not be attracting any kind of flaws. On the contrary, he shall be attracting the flaws if he abstains from attending the same. The Brahmin then wanted to know from Shri Guruji the places that are prohibited for Brahmins from attending and consuming the food. Then Shri Guruji listed the places where one is not supposed to consume food. Places where consumption of food is prohibited. In the following places, one is not supposed to have food. Where one gets served by his own parents instead of serving them, in the houses of a greedy Brahmin, a conceited person, a Brahmin who has been boycotted by the society, a person who depends on begging occupation for his living, a self-posting person, an abuser of others, a person who is being considered as a guru but who initiates others by verses with a greed for money, a person who has disciples with an eye on material gains, a highly fierce Brahmin, a person who hates Brahmins, a person who has abandoned his married wife, a person who is intoxicant with riches, a person who has a disciple with bad character, a greedy person, inhuman fellow, a debauchee, an ill-mannered person, an indolent person, a pompous person, a Brahmin woman who after getting married lives separately by abandoning her husband and children, a wrongdoer, irreligious person, one who is a submissive to a woman, a thief, a gambler, a person who speaks in harsh and rude tone, a drunkard, a blacklisted servant of a king, one who takes food without having bath, one who does not practice chanting of Lord's name, a person who fails to practice rituals pertaining to Sandhya Vandan, a person who never indulges in religious and charitable activities, a person who does not observe rituals pertaining to his own parents, one who recites verses and practices penance with a motive for money, a betrayer, a person who practices partiality, an immoral person, a person who fails to follow his religion as ordained in scriptures, a person who earns income by money lending, an unchaste woman, a cheat, a fraudulent person, a hypocrite, a person who lends money on the pretext of helping but with a motive of earning money, a person who fails to follow settled traditions and practices, one who abuses his own preceptor, one who has distanced himself from his family deity, one who eulogizes himself, an outcast, an abuser of Hari and Guru, the annihilator of cow and Brahmin women, one who extracts money as charity forcibly, one who shows disrespect to Brahmins, one who abuses his own daughter and son-in-law in a fit of anger, one who fails to perform panchayagnas even after marriage, one who always takes food in others' places, one who preaches but does not practice what is preached. In all these houses, consumption of food is prohibited. Thus, those who consume food from others' houses attract all types of flaws. All the Brahmins who follow the above mentioned practices and have inclination acquire 8 supernatural faculties. So said Sri Guruji to that Brahmin. Later, as per the request of the Brahmin, Sri Guruji also narrated the religious conduct of Brahmins. A Brahmin is supposed to get up early in the morning, that is at Brahma Muhurtam, and remember Guru, God, sages, ancestors, sun god, Navgrahas, and sacred cow. Thereafter, he should complete purification rituals. Sri Guruji enlightened that Brahmin in detail about Achaman rituals, manner of brushing teeth, bath rituals, dress code, clothing order, rituals relating to application of sacred ash and gopi chandan, Brahmayagna Tarpan, morning Sandhya rituals, Marjan Vidhi, the reason for giving Arghya and its manner, place of meditation, posture for religious practices, midday Sandhya and meditation order, order for enchanting, Gayatri verse Anushtan, and the fruits of action in detail. Siddhamuni told disciple Namadharaka that a Brahmin who observes the above practices in a ritualistic and orderly manner can accomplish everything in his life. Here ends the 36th chapter in the most auspicious Shri Gurucharitra. Shri Gurudev Datta. Shri Guru Dattatreya Arpanamastu.